title that I picked for this message is "A Little is a Lot." I don't like titling things. I never have. I always felt that if you could actually say it in 3 or 4 words, you wouldn't need the whole message. You just say it in a couple of words, people know what it's all about, and you go home. So, see you. Oh no, you expect more, right? Obviously, the backdrop of the Olympics has touched the Canadian society. I hear everywhere I go. It's the conversation. It's probably more so than I remember '88 when the Olympics were in Calgary and how much hoopla that was. I remember living here in Kingston as a university student at the time when the Olympics were in Montreal, and the hubbub in the Kingston Harbor with the sailing Olympics being here, and living as a student down in what became the area of the Olympic Village and all the activities that went on. But having said that, these Olympics are far away in distance, in the sense of miles. They're far away from here, but they have done more to wake up the imagination of a Canadian public to the aspects of our cultural diversity, our community of life and living here in this country, and for what it means to try and strive for something, for anything. And so, what I want to talk to you about is fear. Fear and faith, but fear. There's a legend from the Orient about a man making his way to a large city. And one night, he meets 2 other travelers along the way. One's name is Fear, and one's name is Plague. And Plague explains to the traveler that once they have arrived, they are expected to kill 10,000 people in the city to which they are going. So the traveler asks Plague if Plague would be doing all the killing. "Oh no, I'm only going to kill a few hundred. My friend Fear will kill all the others." Fear. If you're standing at the top of a mountain, about to go hurtling down at 145 kilometers an hour, face first, 2 inches off the, you might be dealing with fear. That's a truth. And to be able to overcome that fear is a big thing. It's not natural to hurtle down a mountainside 2 inches off of the ice at 145 kilometers an hour. It's not really that natural to want to ski 50 kilometers in terrible conditions and fight all kinds of physical and emotional and spiritual demons as you're doing it to even finish. And so we give great respect for those people that have been doing that these past few weeks. I can imagine what it's like to be the sole skier, the entire Olympic team from the country of Ghana, and to run around with a name like the Snow Leopard and try to bring awareness of sport to your country. And his total goal was to, in a race with 50 competitors, to be 47th was his goal, to finish 47th out of 50 people. He didn't do it, by the way. He finished 49th. And he had to go home with a sense of, what does that mean? So there's fears for those people. But then I look around and I think about the Olympic feats of living most of us do just getting through a day. Fears for our health. Fears for our family members. Fears for our living conditions, fears for our community, fears for friends and neighbors around the world, whether we know them or don't know them. I can imagine the fear of every Canadian of Chilean descent right now as they wake up and wonder, is my loved one under the rubble in the city of Concepcion, as were the people of the Haitian community before this, and the fears of the people in those situations, what it means to lose everything. Fear, whether real or imagined, and that's the other thing, is sometimes we have imagined fears. We have, if my check doesn't come in on time, will I be okay? And we stress about those things. Will if this doesn't happen, will this happen? We project outcomes to things that have yet to happen. And we live in fear, discouraged and overwhelmed. So whether those imagined or real fears can discourage us or overwhelm us, strangle us, whatever they are, when you have my stance on life and work from where I do, basically what we do in ministry is a lot of times just deal with people's fears. Who am I and will I be okay? There are other people whose fears are bigger than themselves. Their fear whether their country will even survive. Will we be overtaken by war and disaster? Will our society collapse? Will the pollution kill us? And inside the church there's fears. There's fears of the future and fears for where we will be going and how do we get there. This is a congregation that I know has faced its fears and has discovered that there is hope and there is life beyond them. And that's the other side of the story. If plague can come to a city and only kill a few and let fear kill the 10,000, think about how that happens in our real life. Fear comes to the city of our life and destroys everything because we've had a smaller ailment or whatever ailment has struck us as we've projected it into a bigger space than it needs to take. I learned a long time ago that it isn't what you fear that will kill you. It's what you don't believe that will kill you. It's what you don't believe that will kill you. Most of us allow fear to overwhelm us to a point that we forget what our faith is about. And if there is a true antidote to fear, it is faith. Faith. We forget what God can accomplish. God sometimes seems far away and distant, and we're not sure where God is. Has God taken a vacation, gone away? Is God sort of, sitting on a golf course in the Bahamas right now, enjoying life? Well, we're here facing this fear on our own. Where are you, God? And where are you when I need you? Where are you when I have a demand for you? Where are you when I just feel overwhelmed? And we're not sure where to look. And it's the uncertainty that gets us. We want a concrete answer. Sometimes we feel that life has lost its sparkle. And we're just trudging along. And we feel like we're slowly slipping into oblivion. How many people here are aging? Really? There's an antidote for that. No. That's not an antidote for that. That's a transition to another stage. No. There is an antidote for aging. It's called staying youthful. All in the mind. It's all in the mind. Person that I know has a bumper sticker on her car that says, aging is inevitable. Growing older is optional. But in order to have that sense of the option, you have to have a sense of something more in your life. And we don't get that something more in our life when we allow fear to strip it away from us. Now, how many people here spend all of their day living in the future? Hands up if you do. You are a remarkable group then, because I don't know too many people that don't spend most of their time living in the future. Had lunch with a friend the other day, a couple weeks ago actually, somebody I've known for 30 years, another minister here in the city, and I don't know if I've told you this or not. I may have shared this in another message, but we were sitting there discussing her upcoming retirement. And she had a lot of stress about what she was going to be doing afterwards and where she was going to be going. And she said, well, what do you think about retirement? And I said, well, my quick answer would be to say, the best thing you can do with retirement is do it at 25, get it over with, and now live. Because most of us spend our adulthood, our younger adulthood, from the ages of, 25 or so. Planning for our retirement. You know, you get all those people phoning you up and they want to do the financial profile on your family, and all apologies to those that are in the financial services business, but you're helping people park their life. Now, we need to have wise retirement ages, I know that, but you also give us, what happens is we get a sense of, when I retire, I will. When I retire, I will take a trip. When I retire, I'll fix up the house. When I retire, I will pick up this hobby. When I retire, I will do this. And all of a sudden, we take 40 years of our life and we slide it into the future and say, I'll live it then. And now I'll just exist to buy the future. And we